Macy got a room, got some meds, feeling a little better. Heading out. Got 2 cars this time. The rental and then our actual car. I'm gonna get heading down to the city. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. We're trying to beat traffic. And I gotta drop the rental car off by 6 a.m. I don't know why Nacy set it up that way, but that's what we gotta do. So let's get on the road. First stop of the day, the rental car center in Atlanta Airport to drop off our rental car that we used to get home. I imagine Nacy's a little bit behind me. I'm gonna check in a minute to see how far back she is. And I'll let you know, but that's what it looks like. Just waiting for her to get here. I checked on Nacy, and she's about 12 minutes behind me. So it'll be a little bit. She's got to get gas too before she gets here. So I'm going to just make sure the car's ready and get ready to continue our trip to Universal area.
We have dropped off the rental car, and now we start our journey to Florida. It says 6, almost 7 hours on the GPS. We'll probably be taking some breaks because I have not updated you yet. But Hawaii screwed me up, and I'm still dealing with that. But hopefully it won't be that bad. Hopefully we'll get through this. Let's go.
Future Gary here. Nacy was supposed to be filming while we drove down. I was driving. She was doing the filming. But she started not feeling very well, so we didn't get much. But right now we're about to head into the Buc-ee's in Warner Robins. So we made it from Atlanta. Nacy still wasn't feeling good. Wasn't really sleeping either in the car. Made it to the Warner Robins. And now we're at Buc-ee's. So let's check out the Buc-ee's Halloween merch before all the crazy blows up.
Hello from future Nacy. So right around here when we dropped off the rental car, right as I stopped to put gas in the car is when the wave of pain really started to hit. And I was so thankful that I was like mere minutes away from dropping off the car and that Gary was going to start taking over driving so that I didn't have to deal with this pain on my own. And so we got back in the car. We basically got in the car and we hit the road to Buc-ee's, which is in Warner Robins, so just south of Atlanta. And I was still getting some like random back spasms here and there. I had my TENS unit on, I had the seat heater on, and I was just kind of roughing it. Thankfully, I was able to take some Tylenol and ibuprofen earlier that morning, and I think that's the only reason that we made it till we got to Warner Robins before I really started to feel uncomfortable. So let's go take a look at the Buc-ee's.
Hocus Pocus reference. Smell on me. 2025. Check out the glow in the dark cup. Hopefully Shania Twain's not too loud. Apple cider donut bath bomb. Wow, that's interesting. That's what it looks like close up.
He's like a little witch or a wizard.
Yeah, he's like a wizard or a witch jamming to Shania. Any buck of mine. I'm surprised they don't like edit these songs with the amount of marketing they do. Buc-ee's blanket.
It's a little white.
Yeah. Got like pink Bronco stuff. I don't know why there's pink Bronco stuff, but that's pretty cool. It's an old style Bronco. Some of the stuff's not out yet. It's interesting. Cinnamon pull aparts. If you haven't watched our channel and haven't been here before, here's what a Buc-ee's look like. It's a little bit of everything. There's food, there's barbecue, there's tortilla factory. That's new, by the way, the tortilla factory. There's a bakery. There's like a meat section, and then they have some merch too. They have a really good job with merch. And then a ton of like candy too. So there's a whole candy wall over there with sodas and stuff. It's really good. And then back behind me are the soda machines. And there's just a lot of options. Found this one too, this is a new one. Authorized best restrooms, food and gasoline. That's a cool Buc-ee shirt. It's pretty neat. It's making tortillas. So he like puts the dough in and he puts it in the machine. It's pretty cool. He has made some. Got our snackies. I got a sausage biscuit and then I got a brisket egg taco. I just really thought I wanted to try the brisket egg taco. And then Nacy got a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, but her back's still hurting, so she's standing up outside.
Buc-ee's was nice because I got to get out and walk around. And right around Buc-ee's, I think, is when I started to think about what could this pain actually be, because I wasn't getting any relief and nothing was working. The TENS unit wasn't working. The heat wasn't working. The only thing that was working was getting up and walking around, as you guys will see me walking and pacing the car. And so I was like, we can do this the whole way to Orlando if we have to stop like every hour or so and I just need to get out and walk around, then we'll deal with it. But after we left the Buc-ee's, we kind of started talking and then I was like, I bet you this is kidney stones, because everything just tells me that it was kidney stones. I had flank pain going down my left side. I had abdominal pain that like reached around my stomach. I knew it wasn't gallbladder because I already had my gallbladder out. And the only other thing I could think of was kidney stones. So as we made our way to Wawa, we actually ended up making a stop before we got to Wawa because I got violently sick. So we had to pull over and go to a gas station, and I basically got sick at that gas station. And I'm 99% sure it was because of the pain, because this became the theme of the day. And so we stopped at that gas station. We knew that Wawa was just a few stops away, so we made our way down to Wawa. And now we're gonna go check out the Wawa. Stopped at the first Wawa in the state of Georgia, and there's something on fire at the exit. Look at that. Oof. It's burning, whatever that is. We just drove past there. But as I was saying, this is the first Wawa in the state of Georgia. It's pretty cool. Nacy's not feeling well, so we're stopping again. This is what the Wawa looks like. They got this order station over here where you can order some food or drinks, which is really actually pretty good for a gas station. And there's the rest of the gas station over here. Hanging out outside the Wawa. Nacy's trying to stretch and see how she feels. Listen to Tallahassee Rock Station. It's been a long time since I've been in Tallahassee listening to rock. This is what the area looks like. There we go. So it looks like it's just kind of typical exit off of 75. So while we were in the Wawa parking lot, I finally came to peace with myself about this pain, and I realized that I was not going to be able to do this on my own because I wasn't able to keep anything down. We were, I think, 6 or 7 hours from home. We were only a handful of hours still away from Orlando, but we knew we still had a pretty good trek ahead of us. So I made the executive decision after Googling hospitals that were close by. The Valdosta hospital had a decent rating on Google. So I was like, it's only 20 minutes down the road. Let's go there. If this is kidney stones, they'll be able to treat me, get me in, get me out, and we can hopefully move along our day, because kidney stones, while it is extremely painful, shouldn't necessarily be a life-threatening emergency that they would have to keep me. So I was rather optimistic heading to the Valdosta hospital. Unexpected turn of the day. Nacy wasn't feeling good, so we're at the Valdosta emergency room. This is what the Valdosta hospital looks like. This is not how our day was supposed to go. So 9 hours later, we gave up on Valdosta. Just to give you guys a quick rundown of what that situation was like. It was not very busy from the outside waiting room. We actually got in there around 9 a.m. because, as you guys saw, we left North Georgia pretty early in the morning. So by the time we got in, I think it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I told them, I've got a lot of pain. I think it's kidney stones. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I'm vomiting. I can't keep anything down. I led with all of the important things. 9 times out of 10, anytime I've ever gone to the hospital and I told them I was a type 1 and I was vomiting and I had high blood sugar, they usually would take me back right away, because as a type 1, you can fall into DKA so easily. And it doesn't even have to be that you're not taking good care of yourself. The last time I was in DKA was because I had food poisoning. And it's a roller coaster, which we can delve into in a short maybe in the future if you guys want to learn more about DKA. So I got in, they triaged me, they brought me back. The nurse that triaged me completely dismissed my pain, completely dismissed the fact that it was kidney stones. He was like, no, you wouldn't have pain like that if it was kidney stones. And I was like, sir, I'm also a nurse. Like, I wasn't trying to play the nurse card. I was trying to just keep it low key. But when he started coming back and mansplaining to me what pain was and like all this other stuff, I was like, okay, this isn't good. This isn't gonna go anywhere. So I went back out into the lobby. There were probably like 6 or 7 other parties in the lobby. And throughout the course of the next 9 hours, I filled at least 6 emesis bags. I was vomiting at least 5 minutes, minimum 5 minutes, maybe shorter than that. And a lot of times nothing was like really coming up. And it was just because of the pain. I think around hour 7, they did take me back for a CT. They did draw some blood. They did not start an IV. They drew some blood and sent off labs. One of the nurses came up to me and told me that my lab work looked great, which, if you know anything, kidney stones isn't going to throw off your lab work. It's just not. I was like, okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. When are they going to actually like take a look and see? I would have settled for an ultrasound. A CT is also going to show you that. He's like, well, we're working on something. And I was like, okay, well, I would like to stop vomiting. Then they did give me some PO Zofran, which helped for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. But again, because it was the pain that was causing me to vomit, I just continued to. So they did finally take us back for a CT at hour 8. I checked back in with the triage nurse because at that point I was seeing large amounts of blood in my vomit and I was really concerned. On top of that, I hadn't had anything in 9 hours by mouth. My blood sugar was still high and I was telling him, like, hey, I'm concerned here, like, da-da-da-da. And he's like, yeah, well, we'll take a look at the CT and if it shows kidney stones, then we can do something. But if not, then I don't know what to do to tell you. And I was like, okay, sounds good, bro. And I was like, I think I'm probably just gonna head out. And he was like, well, I can't tell you to stay and I can't tell you to go. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't think anybody's gonna see me here. And so together we made the executive decision to head back to the car. And so when we got to the car, we decided, as you can see, we decided to go to Gainesville because it was a little bit closer.
Wanted to do a quick update on our day. So we stopped in Valdosta. I've never actually stopped in Valdosta other than off 75. So we got to go into the town a little bit. Didn't see much because we just saw basically the hospital and the emergency room. We were there for 9 hours and they didn't have a bed open. Didn't expect to have a bed open. So didn't know what to do. They wouldn't give anything to help Nacy's. So we found out she has kidney stones, even though it took them 6 hours to do the CT test to see that. She also might be going into DKA because she's had high blood sugars all day. She can't keep anything down. She's vomiting blood at this point. So instead of just waiting, because there was no guarantee that they'd get a bed open, and it was just becoming this frustration that I don't know if they believed her or not. We didn't get the CT results until we were already actually heading on our way. We had a choice to make. We could either go back to Atlanta area or we could go down to Gainesville. The Atlanta area was about a 5-hour drive. It was about 4 something, and it was probably part of it because of rush hour traffic, but that's what that was. And getting down to Gainesville was only about an hour and 45 minutes, so we decided to try Gainesville out. So we went to Shands. Now we're here. Hopefully she can get some help, especially with the pain meds. She's basically been vomiting up blood the entire time. And I drove, as fast as I could to get here. But we're here now. I'm going to take a little nap. She's already in the emergency room. She'll let me know if they actually put her in a room or anything, but I'm going to take a nap for a minute, and then I'm going to head on in there. Chopper landed on the roof.
A little bit about what happened in Gainesville. Now, we used to live in Gainesville many, many years ago, and I got decent care at Shands UF. It's a teaching hospital, so they usually are on their A game there. Now, this will probably give you a little clue as to what I must have looked like walking into that hospital, because I literally had no energy left in me. I was still continuing to vomit the entire ride from Valdosta to Gainesville. Thankfully, Gary kept it together, because I don't do well with vomit if other people are vomiting, so he did a fantastic job. Getting me to Gainesville. So we get there, I walk in the door. There was a line to check in, and one of the other triage girls saw me, pulled me aside, because I must have looked like death walking, and she put me immediately back in triage. So I thought things were going well. They obviously had a hard time placing an IV. They immediately tried to place an IV, but because I was so dehydrated, they had to do an ultrasound guided one, and it actually took them, I think, 5 attempts to get the actual IV in. Which, whatever, it is what it is. As a type 1, needles don't really bother me. I'm kind of used to that level of pain. So I was pretty optimistic that maybe they would give me some fluids, maybe they would give me some Zofran, maybe they would give me something for the pain, till we could officially figure out what was going on. Well, what they ended up doing was giving me some Zofran. I was back there for 3 hours. Then they sent me out to the lobby, and that was where I sat for the next, I think, 4 or 5 hours. We ended up staying in Gainesville for another 7 hours, total. And we could tell that the waiting room was just getting fuller and fuller, and the people that were there had been there for almost 24 hours and had not been seen. They also only had one provider. And because they're a level 1 trauma center, traumas keep coming in, so traumas obviously take priority over people who are not in immediate crisis or about to kick the can. So unfortunately, everybody in the waiting room was not being seen either. Now, we also had another decision to make. Do we stay here and see how much longer this is going to take, or should we potentially try a different ER in Ocala? So I decided to call the ER in Ocala to see how busy they were. Granted, they can't really tell you how busy they are. It's not really a legal thing to do, because that could dissuade somebody from getting emergency care. But the lady on the phone was super sweet, and she basically really encouraged me to, if I felt safe enough to get in the car and drive there, then I should. And so we peaced out, and we left, and we went to the ER in Ocala.
Hospital number 3, it's 1 a.m. We were at the other one for about 7 hours. The room just kept piling up, and not a single person actually went back to see anybody. So we decided to try another one.
We drove to Ocala. Ocala was about another 45-minute drive. Weirdly enough, I had actually been to this hospital for work before, which was kind of ironic. And I have to say, the staff there were absolutely amazing. I walked in, they triaged me right away, they put me back right away. There was a little tiff about an IV that was still in, but we can talk about that in a future vlog, because again, they had to do ultrasound guided. I was an extremely hard stick at that point. I was so dehydrated, I thought it was in my best interest to leave it in. So there was a little tiff between the 2 nurses about whether or not they wanted to keep it. Ultimately, we did end up keeping it, and they did give me a few extra lines just to make sure they could get fluids in me. And they took me back right away. They got me taken care of right away. And honestly, all of the staff at that hospital were absolutely amazing. And 10 out of 10, I would go to that hospital again, which is kind of crazy because Ocala's kind of in the middle of nowhere. And a lot of times in smaller cities, you don't really get the best hospital care. But I have to say, for what I was going through, it was a godsend. And they definitely fixed me up amazingly. So stay tuned, and we'll talk a little bit more about what happened in our Orlando vlogs.
Macy got a room, got some meds, feeling a little better.
This wasn't how we thought the day would go.
No, this is not how we thought our day would end.
We just wanted to take a moment to thank you guys for watching this video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, would you please consider hitting that subscribe button, as it helps us reach a wider audience and helps our channel grow even further. To those of you who are already subscribed to the channel, we just wanted to say a huge thank you for always being there and supporting our channel. We cannot wait to take you guys on our next adventure, so we'll see you guys in the next one.